Picture this. After a long day, you finally settle in for a rare moment of peace. Maybe you're curled up with a book, or just letting your mind wander as you sip your favorite tea. The world feels quiet, and for a brief second, you can breathe. But then, just as you start to unwind, you're interrupted by a comment about chores left undone, or a reminder about tomorrow's plans. The calm is shattered, replaced by a sudden tension. What started as a simple moment quickly spirals into an argument. Voices rise, and what seemed like a minor issue suddenly feels huge. But pause for a second. Ask yourself, is this really about the dishes in the sink or the overflowing laundry basket? More often than not, these conflicts are just the visible tip of a much larger iceberg. The real issues lie hidden beneath the surface. Underneath the complaints are layers of unspoken emotions, unmet expectations, and sometimes even old fears that haven't been voiced. Your need for rest might unintentionally trigger your partner's anxiety, not because of the undone task itself, but because your stillness brings their own restlessness or worries to the surface. For one person, downtime is a way to recharge and recover. For the other, it can feel like discomfort or even neglect of shared responsibilities. The real clash isn't about chores at all. It's about the need to find sanctuary in stillness versus the urge to seek security through action and productivity. Arguments about chores are rarely about the chores themselves. They're about two people with different internal worlds, each trying to feel safe and valued in their own way. So next time tension rises over something small, take a breath. Pause and ask yourself, what's really going on beneath the words being spoken? It's not about laziness or a lack of responsibility. It's about how each of you copes with stress and what makes you feel secure or appreciated. At its core, it's about how each person finds safety, comfort, and a sense of value, sometimes in very different ways. Recognizing these differences is the first step toward real understanding and deeper connection. So instead of fighting over the dishes, start talking about what truly matters, your needs, your fears, and how you can support each other. That's how you move beyond surface conflicts and find real peace together. Why does one person's rest unsettle another? It's the productivity paradox. For some, constant activity equals security. If things are getting done, life feels under control. When a partner rests, it can feel like the system is failing. His stillness becomes her stress. If he stops, does everything fall on her? Rest is seen as withdrawal, not self-care. The anxious partner isn't trying to be difficult. They're trying to keep chaos at bay. The argument isn't about punishing him, but about restoring her sense of safety. This misunderstanding turns rest into a battleground. Recognizing this paradox is key to breaking the cycle. This tension isn't just personal. It's deeply cultural, woven into the fabric of our everyday lives. Society teaches men that their worth is measured by what they do, not by who they truly are inside. At home, this means a man is expected to always be productive, always contributing in visible ways. Rest can feel like failure, both to him and sometimes to his partner as well. Criticism of his downtime reinforces the fear. I'm only loved or valued when I'm useful. This cycle is exhausting, draining, and ultimately unfair to everyone involved. We need to redefine worth, valuing rest, well-being, and presence just as much as productivity and achievement. Only then can men and their relationships truly thrive and find lasting fulfillment. Sometimes it's not about chores or roles, it's about anxiety. A calm partner can unintentionally highlight another's inner turmoil. His peace feels like a mirror, reflecting back their agitation. To relieve this discomfort, the anxious partner may create conflict, pulling him into their storm. It's easier to focus on an external problem than face internal chaos. Recognizing this projection is crucial. The attack on calm isn't personal, it's a symptom. Self-awareness is the first step. Ask, is this really urgent or am I just anxious? True connection comes from finding your own calm, not disrupting someone else's. In a world obsessed with busyness, we forget that clarity comes from stillness. Rest isn't empty. It's where insight and resilience grow. Exhaustion makes you reactive. Rest makes you reflective. When you're tired, you're more likely to argue, accept blame, or miss what's really happening. Rest is self-preservation. It restores your ability to think clearly and set boundaries. After rest, problems shrink and solutions appear. Stillness sharpens your mind and helps you see what truly matters. Protecting your right to rest isn't selfish, it's essential. In quiet moments, you reconnect with yourself and see the real patterns in your relationship. Stillness is where you gather strength for a more authentic life. Knowing that rest is vital for your well-being is one thing, but actually protecting your rest in a world that constantly demands your attention is another challenge entirely. It's easy to say you value downtime, but it takes real intention to carve out space for yourself and defend it from interruptions, especially when others expect you to be available at all times. When you're faced with a manufactured emergency, something that feels urgent but isn't truly critical, your response can set the tone for the entire interaction. Instead of getting defensive or swept up in someone else's anxiety, remind yourself that you have the power to choose your reaction. Hold your boundary with calm, steady energy, even if the other person is emotional or insistent. Be the anchor in the storm, steady, not dismissive. Your calm presence can help de-escalate the situation and show that not every problem requires an immediate reaction. Model the emotional state you want to see in the conversation. If you remain composed, it encourages others to do the same. Take a deep breath, speak gently, and acknowledge the other person's feelings. You might say, "I hear you, and I understand this feels important." Then, set a clear boundary. "Let's talk in an hour when I'm recharged." This approach validates their emotions, sets a healthy limit, and helps prevent unnecessary escalation. You're teaching your partner that not everything is urgent, and that it's okay to pause. Over time, this helps your partner learn to self-soothe and manage their own anxiety rather than relying on you to fix it immediately. They'll start to distinguish between real emergencies and situations that just feel urgent in the moment. This isn't always easy. Sometimes you may be accused of not caring or being distant. But remember, staying grounded is about protecting your own well-being and the health of your relationship. Hold your ground gently but firmly. Calm boundaries create space for healthier, more mature connections, where both people can feel safe, respected, and truly heard. We've chased validation through endless action, always striving, always moving, forgetting how to simply be. In a world that glorifies busyness, we often lose sight of the quiet power found in stillness. It's time to reclaim rest as a strength, not a weakness. Rest is not a sign of laziness, but a vital act of self-respect and self-care. Your value isn't earned through exhaustion. It's inherent. You are worthy, even when you pause, even when you do nothing at all. Rest is a quiet rebellion against burnout culture. It's a gentle refusal to let stress define your worth. It's a declaration that your well-being is non-negotiable. You deserve to feel whole, balanced, and cared for. Shift your mindset. Rest fuels resilience, clarity, and connection. When you allow yourself to slow down, you make space for insight and genuine relationships. You don't need to apologize for needing peace. Seeking calm is a natural, human need. By honoring your need for rest, you give others permission to do the same. You become an example of balance and self-compassion. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect for each other's needs. Supporting one another's rest deepens trust and understanding. Take a moment. Read, listen, watch the clouds drift by. Let yourself be present, even if just for a few breaths. In stillness, you reconnect with yourself and replenish your spirit. This is where true strength is born. You gather the strength to build a life that's not just productive, but truly fulfilling. One that honors your needs and your dreams. Remember, your being is enough. You are worthy simply as you are in every quiet moment.